They train harder than anyone else, but when the spotlight shines, all the blame falls on them. That's the truth behind the fame. You see the flashbulbs, the roar of the crowd, the goals. But what you don't see is what it costs to become a footballer. You dream of it as a kid, the stadium, the chant of your name. But nobody tells you about the silent nights in foreign hotel rooms, eating bland food alone, trying to fall asleep with tomorrow's pressure crawling up your spine. You think it's about passion until it becomes a job, and then it becomes your identity. You're not a person anymore. You're a performance, a walking headline, a data point, a stat sheet. You get told, enjoy it, you're lucky, but when you lose form, when your body breaks, when fans turn on you with a hashtag, that luck starts to feel like a cage. And the pressure, it's constant. You can't turn it off. Social media doesn't sleep. If you miss one pass, they'll post it in slow motion from 5 angles. You start second-guessing everything. That touch, that decision. Should you have shot? Passed? Stay down. Now your brain's playing games faster than your feet ever could. And don't even start on injury. One pop, one misstep, and everything you built gone in seconds. You're not just fighting pain. You're fighting the fear of being forgotten. And the rehab, it's lonely. No crowds, no hype. Just you, the physio table, and your own mind asking, will I ever be the same again? Meanwhile, the club's already scouting someone younger, faster, cheaper, because to them, you're a commodity. You're not supposed to burn out. You're supposed to perform. But here's the twist. You still show up. You tape your ankles. You pull the shirt over your head. You run out heart racing not because you feel good, but because you refuse to quit. No one claps for the extra reps. No one sees the 5 a.m. ice baths, the missed birthdays, the empty calls home. Being a footballer isn't just a job, it's a life that eats everything else. And for those in the academy grind, the kids chasing that first contract, they're already under pressure most adults couldn't handle. One bad game, and you're done. No plan B, no safety net. They call it a dream, but for a lot of young players, it's survival. They're not chasing glory. They're trying to get their family out. The stakes, way higher than just football. But the system isn't made for all of them to succeed, for every debut. There are hundreds of rejections, and no one talks about those boys. The ones who go home with nothing but scars and silence. Even when you make it, you're never safe. Every week is a test. New tactics, new coaches, new politics. One wrong word in the press and you're benched, or worse, sold. And off the pitch, it's not easier. You're scrutinized for what you wear, who you date, what you tweet. Your mistakes go viral. Your silence gets judged. Mental health, that used to be taboo now, it's a trending topic until someone breaks. Then it's why didn't he speak up, as if the system ever truly listened. Footballers aren't machines. They grieve, they get depressed, they panic. But they're expected to smile, wave, and play through it. And the agents, the brands, the media, they all want a piece. Sponsorships, image rights, interviews. It's not just a game anymore, it's a 24/7 business. Sometimes, the pitch is the only place that still makes sense, where it's just ball, boots, grass, and breath, where you can shut out the noise, even if it's only for 90 minutes. But even that escape isn't always pure, because now there's GPS trackers in your kit, AI breaking down your touches, analysts grading your every move. You're not just playing, you're being measured. And if you fail, there's a highlight reel of your worst moment waiting to go viral. Millions of strangers judging a single second, and they don't care what led up to it. Only that it made them laugh or boo. Your body starts to break before your spirit does. Hamstrings tighten, knees swell, you ice. Stretch, grind through pain, because rest, that's seen as weakness. Even wins don't feel the same. You score and immediately think, what will the headline say? Did I do enough to keep my spot? The joy gets buried under the pressure to survive. And then there's the fans. You love them, you play for them, but some, they forget you're human. One missed penalty, and suddenly it's death threats in your inbox, your family getting doxxed, your face turned into memes. The love of the game becomes a war zone. And yet you don't stop. You keep lacing up. You keep showing up, because deep down, beneath the fatigue and fear, you still believe in the game. You remember the kid who kicked a ball against the garage door for hours. The one who didn't care about cameras or critics, just the sound of boot meeting ball. That's who you're playing for. Not for the clubs, not for the sponsors, not even for the applause, but for the moment, that one perfect pass, that one unstoppable strike. Because in that second, everything feels right. You're not trending. You're not doubted. You're alive, and sometimes that's all that matters. But the moment fades and reality creeps back in. The media requests, the post-match ratings, the endless noise that follows you home. Sleep, it doesn't come easy. You replay the match over and over. The missed tackle, the near goal, the criticism. Even in bed, the game doesn't let go. You wake up sore. You fake a smile for the cameras. You put on your kit like armor. Because showing weakness, not an option, not in this world. The pressure changes people. Friends become rivals. Coaches become critics. And sometimes, teammates become strangers. You start to wonder, what happens when the roar stops, when the lights fade? Who are you without football? You see ex-players struggling, chasing purpose, chasing peace. Some go broke, some disappear, some don't make it. You tell yourself you'll be different, that you'll plan ahead, but planning takes energy. And the truth is you're just trying to survive the week. And no one teaches you how to be normal, how to manage fame, how to cope with the silence after the final whistle. They just say, be grateful. But gratitude doesn't erase anxiety. It doesn't fix a torn ACL. It doesn't stop the fear that maybe your best years are already behind you. Still, you keep going, because deep down, football is more than a sport. It's your language, your escape, your battle, and your therapy. And maybe, just maybe, it still loves you back. You learn to live with the weight. The pressure becomes background noise. You carry the expectations, not because it's easy, but because quitting was never in your blood. There's beauty in that struggle, in pushing past limits, in proving, over and over, that you still belong, that you still matter even when the world forgets. And sometimes, in the quiet moments, the tunnel before the match, the silence before the whistle, you find peace in the chaos. You remember who you were before the contracts, before the agents, before the noise. Just a kid, with a ball, a dream, and a fire no one could touch. And you hold on to that fire, because it's the only thing that hasn't asked you to change. It's the only part of you that still feels real. You're not perfect. You've failed. You've fallen. But you've always stood back up. That's what makes you a footballer. It's not the goals, not the trophies, not the followers. It's the resilience, the grind, the fight to stay standing. So the next time they say, why would it suck to be a footballer? Tell them this, because they only see the glory, not the price we pay to earn it. But we pay it anyway, every day, every game. Because the game gave us purpose, even when the world gave us pain. So yeah, it really does suck to be a footballer sometimes. But if you've ever played through the pain, shut out the noise, and found freedom in the fight, then you already know you'd do it all again. Smash that like button if you've ever rooted for the underdog. And drop the name of a player who deserves more respect in the comments. We've got more stories like this coming. Subscribe now and don't miss what's next.